tighten up. Let's get tightened up. Tightened up. Tightened up. Tightened up.
It's a brand new dance and we about to go live. Tighten up, Nashville, rep the 615. First you tighten 2 steps, step to the right. Then you tighten 2 steps, step to the left. Blue jerseys everywhere, game face, yeah, we got it on. Sticking out our chest, beating on it like it's King Kong. Countdown, 3, 2, 1. It's about to get rough. Here come the train, y'all. Tennessee, tighten up.
Tighten up. Let's get tightened up. Tighten up. Let's get tightened up. Sticking out my chest, beating on it like it's King Kong. Sticking out my chest, beating on it like it's King Kong.
Tighten 2 steps, step to the right. Do the tighten 2 steps, step to the left.
Sticking out my chest, beating on it like it's King Kong. Sticking out my chest, beating on it like it's King Kong.
Good evening, Titan Nation. How's everybody doing? Welcome into a new edition of Titans and Truth. I'm your host, Chris, aka Blue Enforcer, and we're going to have a very good episode here tonight. And I know this is a pretty late recording, so I definitely apologize for the time. I'm trying to get myself together. You know, there's a lot going on this month. So, you know, with everything happening with the draft and everything, which we'll get into in just a minute. But I thank y'all for anybody who's watching and sticking with me. I know most people are not going to see this till later, but whenever you do see this, enjoy yourself, enjoy it, and let me know what you think. So I want to hear from y'all. I want y'all to give me some comments. Let me know what you think of the show. Do you like it if I go live, or would you rather I record and upload? So let me know what you think about that. You know, hey, I don't mind constructive criticism. You know, you help me get better. So that's something that I implore to each of you is to, you know, let me know what you think. And again, you know, anybody that's watching now live, thank y'all for being up with me and everything. I know it's kind of a crazy time, but we're going to have a good time anyway. First off, just a few headlines that we got coming up. Of course, the draft is just right at 2 weeks away. So it's about to knock on the door, y'all. Draft time is almost here. Nashville, Tennessee is the place to be. The 2019 NFL draft, and of course, celebrating the 100th NFL season. So that is a very, very big deal. And I can tell you now, as crazy as construction and, you know, traffic and everything is right now, it is going to be a live party, or as a lot of my friends like to say, it's going to be lit. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it. And so that's going to be very important. And some of the things that's happening with the draft, of course, the stage is going to be on First and Broadway. So that's where the stage is, and that's where the players are going to come out. They're working on that as we speak. The NFL draft experience is going to be on the parking lot of Nissan Stadium. I believe by Lot R is where the draft experience is going to be, with the concerts. You'll also be able to do certain things like the 40-yard dash, the vertical jump, everything like that. You can download the NFL Fan Mobile Pass app, and you get that, and you'll be able to participate in those events. I mean, everything is free. Everything is free down there for the experience, but you got to have that app to do certain things as well. So you can get, like I said, take pictures of with the Lombardi trophy. That's going to be there. They're going to have a display of the Super Bowl rings and things like that. So it's going to be extremely, extremely fun, a big-time experience for the city of Nashville. Also, what's going to be happening, some shows are going to be taped in the West Side Club of Nissan Stadium. I believe that is the side facing downtown. So that'll be on the west side. And that is, of course, ESPN shows Golick and Wingo, and also the First Take. So Stephen A. Smith will be in the city of Nashville for the recording. So they're going to be actually doing live shows in the West Side Club section. So you definitely want to get there to get your seats and definitely be able to see that show live. So that's something I might do maybe on Friday. I may try to get down there Thursday, but I think definitely on Friday, I think I'm going to get down there and maybe I'll run into Stephen A. Smith and maybe I can get him to give me some blasphemous comments. So I would definitely look forward to that. Definitely. Also, guess who's giving out some picks during the draft, the second and third round? Our second round pick will be given by none other than a legend himself, Mr. Othello. Eddie George is going to announce our second round pick on Friday night. That's number 51. And then coming right behind him at number 82 to announce our third round pick is the tatted monster himself, Mr. 99 Problems, Jarrell Casey is going to give our third round pick, number 82 on Friday night. So that's going to be a really cool thing to see those guys give out our next picks in the draft. And so that's something that you would definitely want to see and look forward to. And so the draft itself, the experience and everything will open up at noon, I believe, on Thursday. And I think I want to say on Friday, I think it opens at 10 a.m. And I think Saturday is at 9 a.m. And you got to be careful on Saturday. Saturday might be the best family day, but definitely be careful because you got the Rock and Roll Marathon that's going to be happening that exact same morning. The Rock and Roll Marathon and Half Marathon is going to be happening. And what also could be happening if things go well is the Predators could be having a playoff game either on that Friday or Saturday afternoon or evening, something like that. So, I mean, that is something that's going to have this city rocking to a whole new level. If you have the draft, the Rock and Roll Marathon, and a Predators game going on, downtown is going to be insane. That means traffic is going to be ridiculous times 100. And I mean, Broadway, I don't know how many people you're going to be able to hold because they're expecting 300,000. Then you add in maybe another 50 to 60,000 coming for Predators games. So you could get close. I mean, it may not hit it, but you could get close to 500,000 people right down there on Broadway, especially on a Saturday. So, I mean, it is going to be absolutely insane that whole weekend. 3 days worth of football, 3 days worth of events. So you want to have a plan, and you want to basically plan accordingly so that you are able to enjoy everything and know what is going on and what you have to do. So that's something that you would definitely want to keep an eye out for. And I will say this. If you don't want to be in all of that riffraff and all of that stuff happening downtown, hey, there are plenty of parties that are going to be happening. For example, what do you know? Draft night with the Sigmas. Definitely come out to that event. That's an event that I will be at, that I'm helping to host. It'll be at the Nashville Urban Winery at 715 Main Street here in the city of Nashville. So basically, if you see Nissan Stadium and you're heading a little bit north away from downtown, you're going to go under a bridge. You're going to basically go under a bridge. It's over the Interstate 24. And it is basically about a drive at least a couple of minutes from the stadium and walking distance about 10 minutes from the stadium itself. And so on that Thursday night, April 25th, from 5 to 10 p.m., we're having a draft party. A lot of my fraternity brothers are Phi Beta Sigma. Shout out Blue Phi to my brothers. We're going to be having a great event. Tickets are $20 now, $30 at the door. What's included with that will be, of course, food. We're going to have some games. We're going to have some cornhole. going down. We're going to have some music blasting on the 1s and 2s. There's going to be a live Titans in Truth as we basically give you draft coverage, wall-to-wall draft coverage from the first pick of the first round, from the number 1 pick of the first round to the 32nd pick of the first round. So you definitely don't want to miss that. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. So if you have not gotten your tickets, what are you waiting for? Get your tickets. Come on down, join me and my fraternity brothers of the Eta Beta Sigma chapter of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. Draft night with the Sigmas, April 25th, 5 to 10 p.m. You do not want to miss this party. It is going to be a lot of fun. Wear your favorite NFL gear. I know a lot of us are Titans fans on here. Definitely do that. But if you got friends who are fans of other teams, hey, it's okay. Everybody is welcome. At least this one time, we will welcome other fans. At least this once. So, you know, I know there's some Titan fans from Houston that are coming up. We got some Titan fans from Florida coming up. I know there's a few people who are 49er fans, Cowboy fans that are going to be there. Ravens fans are going to be there. So it's going to be a fun night. You definitely don't want to miss it. A nice night of food, fun, maybe some drinks, nice, good drinks anyway. So definitely be in tune for that. I will give you some information. You could go under my personal Facebook page, Chris A. Newell, or under the TNT Enforcers page to look for that link. Or you could just search on Facebook, Draft Night with the Sigmas, and it will take you directly to that event page. You can buy your tickets on there. And actually, I'm going to pull my phone out so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. So, like, for example, you can you might not be able to see it really good, but Draft Night with the Sigmas, and that comes up right there. And if you can see it in blue, you can get your tickets right there. So you can basically click, you get your ticket, and then it basically takes you to the Eventbrite where you can order tickets. I know you probably can't see that, so I apologize for that, but you can do that. You can order your tickets on the Facebook page, or you can go to Eventbrite, search Draft Night with the Sigmas, and order your tickets there as well. So I implore you, if you have not gotten your tickets, come on out and join us. Get your tickets now, $20 now, $30 the day of the event at the Nashville Urban Winery. It's going to be a very, very beautiful setup, and it is going to be a nice, big-time piece of fun, food, fun, football. That's what it's all about. Joseph, what's up, my man, coming in? Said, like when you go live, WrestleMania was good. WrestleMania 36 in Tampa. You know what? We're going to talk about that. We're definitely that he kind of took my thunder right there, but I'll definitely go into that a bit later. So let's get into the show. And tonight's show, last week we talked about edge rushers on last week's show. This week's show, we're going to go a little bit further onto the defensive side of the ball. Let's go down in the trenches to the defensive line. And I think this is a big-time need for the Tennessee Titans, and I really believe this should be where the Titans go at 19. I think they should go defense, whether it's an edge rusher or a defensive lineman. And I have my top 5 defensive linemen that I really, really like. And then I have a couple of dark horses as well that if you don't know about them, you may want to do some research, look them up a bit. So let's go ahead and get started. My top 5 linemen I have here. The first one that I have that I'm going to talk about is Christian Wilkins from Clemson. And let me tell you something. This is a guy I would absolutely love to have. I'm starting to have a man crush on him. And let me tell you why. 6'3", 315 pounds, ran a 5.40, 28 reps on the bench. He had 16 sacks over 4 years, and he's a very, very productive player. Definitely can mess up the running game as well. And you know how I'm the type of person, I don't like just looking at highlights. I need to go look at game tape. I need to go look at game film, like seeing them play by play against somebody. So with Wilkins, I looked at some tape against Duke, against Alabama, and against Boston College. Some of the pros I have, he is very, very powerful. He's very quick off the ball, gets a low center of gravity, excuse me. So when I say that, that means when he comes off the ball, he's coming off the ball low. He ain't standing up, because a lot of times some defensive linemen, they go straight up. That makes them easy to block. And Christian Wilkins does not do that at all. He gets a low center of gravity, gets pushed, gets some push on the snap. He gets a lot of attention because he ends up forcing a lot of double teams. So that means that the offensive line is paying attention to where he is on the field. So they're like, okay, where's 42? Where's 42? Okay, we need to double him. We need to double him right there to keep him from making a play. He definitely can still apply pressure. He does not get blown off the ball very often, and he just knows how to create some pressure. And extremely intelligent young man as well. I mean, graduated in 3 years with his degree, and then, of course, still played his 4th year. I believe he's a 4-year starter, 3-time All-American. So Christian Wilkins is he's a guy I like to call a game changer. I mean, in the game against Duke, he messed some plays up. He messed some things up for Danny Jones and that Duke offense. And I mean, I know Duke doesn't have the best offense in the world, but he messed some things up. Against Boston College, same thing. I mean, wreaked havoc. And that's why I say he's a game changer. He would be an instant 3-4 defensive end, in my opinion, but could also play some nose in situations as well. So I really like Christian Wilkins. I would love to get him at 19 if he's there. He will be an absolute get. And I think he would be one of the safest picks in this draft. Now, some things I did, one of the things I wasn't a fan of as a con, and I really couldn't find that many, is that he doesn't have a whole lot in the pass rush arsenal as far as moves. And so, you know, in the NFL, you gotta, you know, use some different moves to get to the quarterback. I think he has a good bull rush. He has a good swim move, which theoretically the swim move is one of my favorite moves to use as a defensive lineman. That was my bread and butter go-to move. So it's really not anything wrong with that, but he's got to develop a couple more moves, maybe like a rip or something like that. A rip move would be kind of cool to have for a man of his size. But I definitely love Christian Wilkins. I think he's a guy, he would be a stud next to Jarrell Casey. And seeing those two wreak havoc together, I mean, I think Christian Wilkins reminds me of, in my honest opinion, he reminds me of I would say not as great as Warren Sapp, but I think he's Warren Sapp type. As in, you know, Warren Sapp was better at getting to the quarterback, but Christian Wilkins, like Warren Sapp, can change a game and just could cause so many problems for an opposing offensive line and that quarterback. Sorry about that, y'all. Number 2 on my list is Houston defensive lineman Ed Oliver. Now, Ed Oliver is a guy that may not be there at 19, but if he is there at 19, he would be a steal of a pick. Like I said, Christian Wilkins is a safe pick. Ed Oliver would be a steal of a pick. And this is why. 6'2", 287, 4.37 40 at his pro day, 32 reps on the bench. He had 53 tackles for loss over a 3-year span, and over 13.5 sacks. Of course, a lot of that is because Ed Oliver was playing out of position a lot. For some reason, they were lining him up at the nose a lot. And I mean, for a 287-pound guy playing nose, he held up pretty well, actually. He still did, he got a lot of double teams and still caused some damage and everything. So, Ed Oliver, I definitely like a lot. He's met with the Titans on a couple of occasions at the Combine. They had a private workout with him at the Houston Pro Day, and he has been brought into Tennessee for a top 30 visit. So Ed Oliver is definitely on the Titans' radar. What's up, AZ Mick? How's it going? I saw a couple of games with him against Arizona and against Rice. And some things I noticed as a pro, he is fast. I mean, he is fast getting to the football, fast getting to a quarterback. I mean, there were some offensive linemen that had no idea what to do with him. They didn't know how to deal with him. Even if he got double teamed, he was able to overpower that and still make some plays. I project him as a true 3-4 defensive end, not a nose tackle. And I know that the Titans, even I believe at the Combine, even asked if he could play some outside linebacker. I mean, yeah, I could see that as far as just rushing the passer, but I think a 3-4 defensive end is his natural place. Definitely. Like I said, he can take on double teams and still make plays. If you try to block him one-on-one, you might as well give it up because Ed Oliver is going to win that matchup 99 times out of 100. He will destroy offensive linemen. And one thing that I liked that was very impressive about Ed Oliver, if you go back and look at Ed Oliver versus Arizona, there was a particular play, I think in the fourth quarter, Arizona had completed a big pass play, got down to the 1. Ed Oliver and the rest of that Houston defensive line shut them down 4 straight plays and held them up. And Ed Oliver was in the middle of that entire defensive line doing that. So, I mean, that was extremely impressive to me and something that I think is a value, is that you are able to not only be a great player, but make other players around you better. And so that is something, that he did. He helped others make plays. And so, again, even though he played out of position, he did extremely well for being played out of position. Just imagine putting him in the right natural position. He is going to be a major problem for a lot of offensive lines. Some cons, some things I didn't like. Maybe he takes a play here or there off. Now, I could be wrong with that, but it just looks like to me he may take a play or two off. He has some off-the-field issues as far as, the whole incident with the jacket. I don't think he was playing. He wasn't playing in a certain game, and the coach is trying to tell him, hey, that jacket is for players who are playing. We might need you to remove that, and he didn't want to remove it. So it seems like sometimes he may he may throw a tantrum if he doesn't get his way. And, that also happened in the game against Arizona where he came out for some plays. The coach was like, hey, you did enough. I want you to rest. But he was basically itching to get back in the game, which I think it also tells me he does love the game. And even though I did put down that he was undersized at 287 pounds playing nose tackle, but at 287 pounds playing a 3-4 defensive end, I think he's going to be fine. And that size is not going to matter. So that much is a fact. But I would think Ed Oliver is an absolute steal if he's sitting there at 19. And I wouldn't even be surprised if John Robinson tried to trade up a few spots if he's there like 14 or 15, coming up, steal him away and maybe help a team like the Redskins out. So my third player of my top 5 is going to be Dexter Lawrence, also from Clemson. 6'4", 342 pounds, 505 40, 36 bench reps. He had 11 sacks over 3 years, including 7 sacks in the year 2016. Of course, along with the Duke Boston College game, I watched him against Pittsburgh, was dominant along with Christian Wilkins. And that's some of the things I wrote down was that he is a true nose tackle, a big-time space eater. He can eat up space, cause others to make the play like Christian Wilkins, like Austin Bryant. I mean, Dexter Lawrence was a man amongst boys. He's a guy that he is top of the line solid to me. He's definitely a guy that, he's a big-time run stuffer, does have a little bit of pass rush capability. And like I said, again, he's a definite nose tackle. Now, he can switch out to the 3 technique if you need to rush the passer, but most of the time I think he's going to be up the middle, and that is going to do wonders for Jayon Brown and Rashaan Evans. So I would like that pick as well. Maybe that's a pick you could pick later in the first round if the Titans trade back. And, also some cons for him is, will he be able to be on the field during third downs? I know a lot of times we do run some 4 lineman sets, but if it's 3-down linemen, if you need that extra pass rush, then he may be a guy that has to come off the field for a moment. But other than that, I mean, a solid pickup and would do wonders for our defensive line. Number 4, Jeffrey Simmons, 6'4", 301 pounds from Mississippi State. He did not work out at the combine or at the pro day because of injury. He tore his ACL while training, and I can't remember if it was late January or early February, but he tore his ACL getting ready for the combine and for his pro days. And so, that definitely hurts as far as we didn't get a chance to really gauge where he could go in this draft. So he might end up, sliding a little bit. There was an article today on TitansOnline.com where senior writer Jim Wyatt, a good friend of the show, basically wrote, what would happen if the Titans, what could happen if the Titans maybe roll the dice on Jeffrey Simmons. And the way that I see it is if no pass rusher, Christian Wilkins or Ed Oliver are gone, and and then also if Garrett Bradbury is not there, then maybe I see us taking him at 19. But if he's sitting there at 51, that is a absolute steal, if nothing else. That would be highway robbery if he lasted that long. And but I don't think he will last that long, actually. And so I watched him against Ole Miss, against Kentucky, and against Alabama. And this is some stuff I came away with. Pros. He does have power, can definitely gain leverage up on an offensive lineman. Definitely has some good technique. He holds up against double teams. And when I was watching film, I thought he looked kind of sloppy against Florida. I thought he didn't look so great against Kentucky. But as the year went on, he picked it up. And, I mean, in the game against Iowa, I was thoroughly impressed because he helped take over that game himself. And, I mean, between him and Montez Sweat, that game against Iowa was a very good performance by both of those guys. I could not be more prouder of those two young men than I am. So that was really good. He could definitely be a nose tackle if you need him to be, but definitely a defensive lineman in the 3-4. And it looks like he's the type of guy that on third down you can have on the field, you don't have to take him off the field. He's a 3-down defensive lineman, in my honest opinion, and he's the first, besides Christian Wilkins, the second true defensive lineman at the 3-4 that you can have on 3rd down. Cons with Jeffrey Simmons, of course. On blocks, he does tend at times to get stood up. And sometimes during plays, he looks like he gets lost in the wash of a play, which basically what that means is if a play is going a certain way, you know, and he's not actually making the tackle or something, and, you know, the offensive linemen are holding him up, that's basically getting caught up in the wash. So that's something that Jeffrey Simmons does need to work on. Rizzo Vegas, what's up now? And welcome in. But and sometimes there are games where I don't even notice him. Like in the game against Kentucky, I didn't notice Simmons at all because the Kentucky offensive line, you know, doubled him a lot and really made sure to run away from, you know, basically to they basically tried to run plays away from him. And, you know, that's why there were a lot of times he didn't get noticed. There are times that he looked like he could be tamed, he could be neutralized. And so, you know, Jeffrey Simmons seems like the type of player that he needs a running mate. He needs a, you know, another defensive lineman that can be dominant that he can run with. And I mean, don't get me wrong, he can still play the nose, but basically Jarrell Casey will have to be the running mate for Jeffrey Simmons. You know, he's not the type of guy that will flat out change the game by himself. That would be something I would do. So, you know, that is something that could be a little concerning, but not bad. And then last but not least, my injury, you know, he does have injury issues. You know, towards ACL in February, will most likely definitely be out for the season coming up. And so if I'm the Titans, if I'm willing to stash him away for a year, and then maybe you sound like a Muhammad Wilkerson or an Ndamukong Suh, then I say bring those guys in. Let Jeffrey Simmons sit in rehab for a year, and then that is where and that's basically where he does his most damage, is when he's on the field and, you know, not getting neutralized, which leads me to my next point, is that any off the field issues, as far as the whole thing that happened when he was in high school, he didn't really have any problem when he got to Mississippi State. But you know that once something about somebody's past comes out, it's there. And, you know, that's like what happened with Laramie Tunsil a few years ago. Looked like he was going to be the #1 pick in the draft. Put out a video of him in a gas mask getting high. And so that's something that will drop your stock real quick. And it also depends on what happens with the first 18 picks and what happens with the quarterback position. Jeffrey Simmons could definitely be there, without a doubt. And so Joseph says, I read on Facebook that weather could play a factor during the draft. Be careful. Well, yes. So if weather is a factor, definitely be careful. But if you come to draft night with the Sigmas, you ain't got to worry about that because the patio is covered. You know, we'll be indoors at times, but if we're outdoors, we're at a covered patio. So you definitely can enjoy your food and enjoy Titans and Truth without worrying about getting rained on. So that's something that I definitely like, and it's why we chose the place that we did. Now, my fifth guy would be probably somebody that you would think maybe too early to mention him, but it's Colin Saunders from West Illinois, 320-pound defensive lineman. He could play nose. He could play 3-4 defensive end. You know, I mean, this dude, for Christ's sake, was able to do a backflip. I mean, did a backflip on his own. Didn't need no help or nothing like that. So, I mean, that tells me he is extremely athletic, can get some good push, does good work with his hands, definitely doesn't get pushed around. I think still is a little raw. He's definitely a pretty good pretty good lineman that could become a great defensive line. He has a lot of upside. And so I absolutely like Kalen Saunders and would be a very, very nice pickup for the Titans if that is the case. And so a couple of dark horses that I have. One is Zach Allen, 6'4", 281 from Boston College. He has a very high motor, definitely a high IQ, has some great work ethic. And I mean, he's very much underrated as a pass rusher. So I definitely think that Zach Allen, he reminds me of a young Kyle Vanden Bosch. He didn't let a lot of players push him around. He had a high motor, good work ethic. And I mean, yeah. Zach Allen has a knack for getting to the quarterback. We have some familiarity with Boston College. Of course, we have this strength and conditioning coach joining us. So Zach Allen could go somewhere in the second round. Definitely would go third round. And he may not be the most athletic person in the world, but he's definitely athletic. And, anytime that good players are coming out of the draft, the ladies want to watch and be like, oh, he's cute. He's cute. He looks good dressed on the red carpet. They want to look at the red carpet and see how every guy is dressed. So I like Zach Allen, old school, if you ask me. One other guy that, you could think about, but I'm not really feeling is Draymond Jones from Ohio State. 6'3", 281. He did do the I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of thought for a second. Draymond Jones is a guy for Ohio State. Ran a 5'1", 240. One thing about him is that he would be a nice role player. He would be a nice role player on dancing downs. You definitely want to be on your P's, definitely want to be on your P's and Q's about Draymond Jones because he's a situational player. And what I mean by that is passing downs, he's pretty good. Run downs, not so much. So he's definitely not a 3-down defensive end. He's more of a 2-downer. He's not that strong to me at the point of attack. He tends to bite on play action plays and can be somewhat indecisive on what he wants to do next. So those are my, those defensive linemen or linemen that don't come along every day. So I definitely like this crop of defensive linemen that are coming to Nashville. So a couple other guys that I never mentioned yet, Dalen Mack. This guy, Dalen Mack, big man, can be a monster among boys. Definitely can rush the quarterback. At 336 pounds, this guy is a definite nose. He can sometimes slide out and play. One thing about Dalen Mack that I really like is that he moves the pocket. He will definitely move offensive linemen back into his quarterback. So, you know, Daylon Mack has some stuff to work on, but I think his base is looking very bright. So I like Daylon Mack quite a bit. I would not be surprised if we took him. So I like Daylon Mack. I'm definitely down with that. So at the end, y'all, tell me what y'all think. Do y'all like the lineman that I had? Do y'all think I should have added somebody else to the list and things like that? So definitely let me know with the comments. With the comment section below. If you're on Facebook looking at this, leave a message on the Facebook page. And we'll definitely go from there. But I like this crop of defensive linemen. I think they're going to be good. I think they're going to be exciting, and they'll definitely help the pass rush. Not the sexiest pick, but it is a pick that I would definitely go for. Okay? So, now, something that I went ahead and did with that, and, you know, if I come across any more tape of other defensive linemen that I think could be good, I'll definitely report that. But again, it's my opinion alone. And I just told you my top 5 best defensive linemen in this year's draft. And of course, I said number 1, Christian Wilkins. Number 2 is Ed Oliver. Number 3 would be Quentin Williams. Number 4 would be Jeffrey Simmons. And rounding out the top 5 at number 5, you know, you got Dexter Lawrence. So I like all of these players. I love to make them all Titans, but we can't. You can only pick one. So let me know who you think you would go with as the 19th pick in the draft. RZA Vegas says, good picks. Great breakdown. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. So definitely leave your comments below on who you would go with at that spot with that. So now that we've done that, we'll move on to my mock draft. So I promised y'all that I would do a mock draft before the season starts, and that is exactly what I have in mind. So I'm trying to. I'm just looking up something here. I mean, I'm trying to look for the tape. I was trying to look forward. Let's see. Okay. Never mind on that. I lost my train of thought for a moment because I was trying to figure something out as far as with YouTube. But here is my mock draft. I just did a 3-round mock for the Titans under the Draft Network. That's basically where this was coming from. So at 19, I was able to steal Montez Sweat. I just thought it was too good to pass up. Would love to have Montez Sweat on this team. That's exactly what I would do here. Number 2, the 2nd round pick, I have us going with Marquise Hollywood Brown. And the reason why I say that, dude could take the top off of a defense. He is electric fast. Okay? Electric fast. And if he catches the ball in open field as Deion Sanders of the Cowboys would say, oh, he's breaking away. You know what? Just get back to the sideline for the kickoff. And so that, you know, is it, you know, it's pretty cool. With the draft being here and things like that. Hollywood Brown being there in the second round, I mean, will take your socks off. Will knock your socks off, basically. So I know Marquise is injured, but I'm willing to take a flyer on him. In the third round, I got Kalen Saunders, who we just talked about on the interior defensive line. So, you know, I like my picks. I think they're definitely pretty cool. Would like to try to do a mock draft with trades, but I think I may have an idea for one. So I like my mock. I like my mock a lot. So that's what I will be looking forward to. I will post that on Facebook tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. And let's go to the blue bombshell of the day. And with the blue bombshell, I know I know things have been a little crazy this month, but it is all for the good as we get ready for this 2019 draft. And I want to give a shout out for the blue bombshell to my brothers of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. The Zeta Alpha chapter brought out 12 guys last weekend, being presented to everybody. It's a new member presentation, not a I forgot what it was called, but you know, they're like new member presentation instead of a probate. Definitely. So shout out to everybody who came out to TSU for my Sigma brothers coming out. Also for my Dovely sorors of Zeta Phi Beta also came out with a line. I believe they came out with 10 girls that same day as Zeta Alpha came out with theirs. And so definitely congratulations to both of those lines. Both of those new lines coming into Sigma and Zeta respectfully. Also, shout out to Belmont. They also crossed a brother yesterday, to be exact. I hate I missed the show, but it seemed to be a lot of fun. I got like a video or two of that. And I mean, you know, I just I like how my fraternity is growing. And so congratulations to everybody, and also to any new Greeks that have joined a fraternity or a sorority now. So, you know, if I don't have water from, you know, if I don't have you know, there were Alpha Kappa Alpha and Iota Phi Theta. They came out of TSU2 on that Sunday, this past Sunday as well. So congratulations to all the Greeks that crossed and became new members of their respective organizations. So congrats to everybody. Last but not least, before we do get out of here tonight, I got to watch WrestleMania this past Sunday, and I absolutely enjoyed it. Probably one of the best WrestleManias I have seen in a very long time. Definitely congratulations to Seth Rollins on becoming the new WWE Universal Champion. My boy Kofi Kingston is a brand new WWE Champion. So I'm definitely proud of both of those guys. Becky Lynch, the man, captured both the Raw and Women's SmackDown titles. After defeating both, defeating, oh man, I started losing my train of thought. Yeah, Kofi Kingston defeating Daniel Bryan and Seth Rollins defeating Brock Lesnar. So that was pretty cool. And Becky Lynch defeating both Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair to become a double champion. So WrestleMania was a lot of fun. Some of you may know that I'm a big wrestling fan, so I'm a big goof like that. But it was an atmosphere I will not forget. And of course, Joseph alluded me to this. Next year, WrestleMania will be at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. So with some of my family down there, I might have to make the trip. I might make the trip down there for WrestleMania. So I definitely look forward to that. So I'm about to get up and talked about that I didn't. Excuse me. Again, let me know in the comments section below. And also you can talk to me, Chris A. Newell on Facebook, as well as the event page. So when you say, you know, if you're doing, you know, you're doing work and you want to purchase a ticket, go online to Facebook, search Draft Night with the Sigmas, and you can get to the event page and you can let's see, yeah. I'm sorry, y'all. I think I'm tired from the whole day and things like that. I tend to just, I done got forgetful all of a sudden. So that's unprofessional of me. I apologize. But with the, you know, with the tickets, you could search Draft Night with the Sigmas and you get onto the Facebook event page. You can order your tickets right there. You don't need to go to Eventbrite. You can just punch it right there. If you don't have Facebook, then you search Eventbrite. And you go to Eventbrite, search Draft Night with the Sigmas, and that'll easily pop up. You can buy your tickets there. So that is April 25th, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. And I need all y'all to come out. I need y'all to spread the word. I need y'all to share this show. And definitely let me know what you think of the show. You know, you can catch me always at Titans_in_truth on Instagram, or at Blue Enforcer 1914. You can also reach me on Facebook, Chris A. Newell, or the TNT Enforcers page. And then on Twitter, I am at TNT Blue Enforcer. Okay, so that's the best ways to reach me there. But that's all the time I have for tonight. Thank y'all for sticking with me, whoever was up. And thank y'all for sticking with me, even though I had a Brown moment with my brain just going completely nuts. So thank y'all for watching Titans in Truth. The next week's show, we're gonna stick in the trenches, but go to the offensive side of the ball, and we're talking about them big, beefy offensive linemen. But and that's gonna come your way next week. Here on Titans in Truth. So again, my name is Chris, aka Blue Enforcer. Make sure you check out those links. If you haven't followed me on Twitter, definitely follow me. If you're not following me on Instagram, you know, follow me on Instagram. Facebook, you can get to me at Chris A. Newell, and then I can add you to the Titans group that I've created. So thank y'all again for tuning in. It's been fun. I've had a lot of fun tonight. And tighten up. Y'all have a good one.